Hi. After watching the video, click the link in the description to download the program.
I stood glaring into the fridge. The thought of choking down another dry, tasteless breakfast was just too much. Screw it. I quit. I stifled a sob, surrendered to my craving, reached for the milk, and grabbed my daughter's box of Lucky Charms. Without a word, my husband Todd just fetched us each a bowl and a spoon. He knew the drill. Another defeat in a war we were slowly but surely losing. He looked what I felt like. Guilty, tired, frustrated, depressed, and so darn hungry. Both of us were sick to death of the diets, the workouts, the calorie counting, tired of the cravings and hunger, and with nothing to show for it. I reached down, grabbed the roll around my belly, and looked back at my cereal bowl. It was all I could do not to scream or sob. Todd and I had been locked in a hopeless battle with our creeping belly fat for years. The thing is, for the most part, we eat healthy. We exercise together, and we've tried all the diets. Low carb, low fat, paleo, calorie counting, not to mention all the fancy diets like Dr. Bernstein, Atkins, Weight Watchers, Herbal Magic, Jenny Craig. We spent thousands of dollars we couldn't afford on the salary of 2 cops, and nothing worked. No matter how hard we tried, no matter how much money we wasted, no matter how many nutritionists and specialists we saw, unexplainably, we just keep getting a tiny bit fatter every month, every year. Which is why I made this short video for you. Because if you've ever felt even a smidge of what Todd and I were suffering, like the cravings, then the binges, the creeping unexplained weight gain, feeling tired a lot of the time, brain fog at the most awkward moments, feeling hungry all the time, even when you just ate, and never being able to lose weight, even when you eat right, then the shocking reason for it, which has almost nothing to do with your diet, along with the simple solution I stumbled on, is about to lift a terrible weight from your shoulders. A weight I had been carrying for so long and that nearly crushed me on that horrible morning. So, can you blame me if I felt like smashing something or just getting back in bed and sobbing myself back to sleep? Because it had been another rough night. I was exhausted, and I could tell that Todd was too. Plus, I could see shame in his eyes, because it had happened again last night. His monsters took over. The terrible and lingering scars of decades on the SWAT team. He was thrashing and sweating. I tried to wake him from his suffering, which is when he came within an inch of punching me in the face. He barely came to his senses before his fist connected, wrenching his arm back just in time, but I could see the shame eating at him. Not just because he almost hit me, but because it had been going on for so long and was taking a toll. What he didn't know, what I'd been hiding from him, trying to protect him, is that even on most nights when he thought he was sleeping well, he would toss and turn all night in a shallow sleep, reliving the terrors that haunt him, and I'd go to bed every night hoping desperately to get a decent sleep. And as you're about to discover, I soon learned a shocking truth, that our poor sleep was devastating to our health, and even more shocking, it had everything to do with our creeping belly fat. Not to mention, I couldn't remember the last time we'd snuggled or even held each other, and our intimacy just felt like a distant memory. So pay close attention, because what I'm about to reveal will change your life in every way that counts, even if you think you get a good night's sleep every night, because what I discovered is brand new research revealing that at least 67% of folks unknowingly suffer from a specific type of sleep disruption, and that most people aren't even aware that it is happening to them. Specifically, if you are 40 or older, then you are probably getting up to 70% less of one precise form of deep sleep that is critical to losing weight and protecting your health. And that even the lucky few who suffer from slight disruption of this unique form of sleep are getting pummeled with depressing, serious, and devastating long-term side effects. Side effects that scared me. It made me finally understand that our creeping weight gain had almost nothing to do with diet and exercise. So, if you suffer from unexplained weight gain or runaway cravings, you're going to want to watch this next bit very carefully, because it's not your fault. And I'm about to share with you some simple and slight shifts to your daily routine, along with an amazing and super comforting superfood tea recipe that will instantly allow you to reclaim a specific form of sleep that turns your fat-burning hormones back on while quickly reversing symptoms of declining health. You see, even a slight shortfall in this specific type of sleep can lead to unexplained weight gain. Sadly, this is so common. Runaway hunger and cravings, and we had lots of those. A frustrating lack of concentration and focus, nagging feelings of being tired all the time, and much more. Much worse complications, which explains so very much about what had been happening to me and Todd over the past couple years. Hi, my name is Tara. I've been a cop for 27 years. My husband Todd was a cop and a SWAT team leader for 17 years. And the hidden truth we stumbled on will scare the bejesus out of you. However, if you're anything like me, then knowing the truth, getting a little scared, is the best thing that can happen to you. Because that morning after with Todd, as we drown our sorrows in big bowls of sugary cereal, I realized I had a choice to make for the both of us. And I really only had 3 options. 1. I could keep pretending everything was okay, but ignore the heartbreaking distance between us and how exhaustion was draining away our intimacy. I could ignore the fear and sadness of losing the magic in our marriage as our health crumbled and our bellies expanded. 2. I could get mad and spiteful about how unfair it was that we did everything right and nothing worked for us, even when we both dedicated our lives to serving and protecting others. Or I could make the choice I did. The choice to fight for myself, my husband, our love, our intimacy, and our family. The choice to discover the truth about the real cause of our disintegrating health and our growing belly fat. To get to the bottom of why we could do everything right and still never lose weight. And how to reclaim a lean and healthy body even as you leave your 40s and move into your 50s and 60s, even if you can't or just don't want to exercise. And what happened next is very special, very beautiful. So, if you have ever felt that you're being cheated out of losing weight, if you eat healthy, you get some exercise, and you never seem to get rid of your belly the way you feel you should, then pay really close attention. Because no matter how good you are with your diet and exercise, you will never lose weight until you understand this next part. And once you do, I guarantee you'll start noticing your belly get flatter from one day to the next, even without changing much about how you eat or how much you exercise. Isn't that incredible? In fact, it's shocking and almost unbelievable, which is what I thought at first. So let me tell you the story of how I stumbled on this near magical method to lose weight naturally and safely. Wow, you instantly start reversing health problems and practically double your energy overnight. Just a couple weeks after deciding that things needed to change, Todd's old friend Dan dropped by. I could listen to Dan's stories for hours and hours. You see, Dan is the go-to guy for elite athletes, Hollywood actors, even regular folks that can afford it, who want to get in shape fast without extreme diets or workouts. You should hear some of the crazy stories Dan has about getting these folks into shape. Anyhow, it was so great catching up with him because we hadn't seen him in ages, so I almost forgot how blunt he can be. And after about an hour of shooting the breeze, he just blurts out, "So you guys are a lot heavier than the last time I saw you, and you both look pretty beat down. Spill it, what's up with you guys?" I wanted to curl up and hide under the couch in the fetal position. Todd just sat wide-eyed like a deer in headlights. Dan finally broke the awkward silence. "Look, guys, you know this is my thing, right? Let me guess. You guys have been eating healthy, and as I can see for myself, it's just not working. Look, it's not your fault, and the solution has nothing to do with your diet and exercise. Let me explain." What he said next was like he lifted a weight off my shoulders. He said more than 75% of the people he works with only need to fix one thing to trigger massive weight loss without big changes to their diet and exercise. which is when I got really, really excited because he shared a few stories from his hundreds of clients who used just this one tip. Like his client Brenda, who lost 76 pounds and went from a size 18 to a size 5. And Barry, who lost 25 pounds and shocked his doctor who said, "You have the heart health of a young man again." Or Pat, who lost 40 pounds at age 54, banished her sore knees and back, and actually increased her strength and healthy lean muscle without lifting any weights. Then there's Kim, who dropped 30 pounds and went from 28% body fat to 13%. And with every new transformational story he told us, I allowed myself to hope again for the first time in I don't know how long. Hope that I could reclaim the old me. Hope that we could rekindle the fire in our relationship. Hope that Todd would get back to the confidence and spark that I fell in love with. Hope that we could reclaim the slim, healthy bodies we used to take for granted. Dan told us that trying to lose weight without first fixing this one thing was like trying to empty a bathtub with a clogged drain. Even if there is just a tiny drip from the faucet, just like an extremely restrictive diet, the tub will still overflow eventually because there's just nowhere for the water to go. So even if you're eating next to nothing, if your drain is clogged, then your body will end up continuing to store fat on your belly. What I never expected, and what I'm sure you have guessed by now, is that the devastating handicap holding you back from a flat belly, kid-like energy, and pristine health is something nobody is talking about. It's the lack of a specific form of deep sleep, and that most people don't even know they're getting shortchanged on this specific type of sleep. In fact, even folks who are in bed and asleep for 7 to 8 hours a night are probably not achieving the specific and restorative sleep state that they need in order to lose weight and rebuild health. The good news, actually the great news, is that Dan showed us how to reclaim this specific type of deep sleep. The results have been nothing short of a miracle, and that's what I want to share with you here in just a minute. First, here's what's happening to your body when you are shortchanged on the precise type of restorative sleep. Even if you're in bed for 8 hours and think you're sleeping well, unless you're getting this specific type of sleep, you're going to be affected. First of all, any disruption in your sleep is going to make you hungry all the time. That's because unhealthy sleep messes with your hunger hormones. First, there's leptin, a hormone released by fat cells as a signal to the brain that you are full. Recent studies in humans have shown that shallow sleep wrecks the release of this hormone. Your body misreads this and thinks you're in a state of famine that causes runaway hunger, which explains why you're hungry all the time even when you're getting all the right nutrients from a healthy diet. However, that's not all. Next up is ghrelin, basically the opposite of leptin. Ghrelin ramps up your appetite, and any disruption of your sleep quality drives it through the roof. If you've ever had even short periods of bad sleep, you've probably noticed this increase in hunger for yourself. Imagine trying to stay strong on any kind of diet when your hormones are telling you all day long that you're starving. Now, if only that were the worst thing your hormones were doing, 'cause there's more. Did you know a hormone called cortisol has been shown to directly deposit fat on your belly? And guess what? Each night of low-quality sleep adds up over time and drives up your cortisol. Not only does this inflate your belly fat, it interferes with learning and memory, it lowers immune function and bone density, it drives up blood pressure and cholesterol, it increases the chance of heart disease, depression, mental illness. I could keep going, but you get the picture. Chronically elevated cortisol is just plain bad. And no matter how good you are on your diet, you can't lose weight while high cortisol is sabotaging you. Now, if the hormonal problems weren't enough, a lack of critical deep sleep sabotages something called your RER and causes your body to burn lean tissue for energy instead of stored fat. Now, RER is your respiratory exchange rate, which is basically the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide that happens when you breathe. When your sleep cycle gets messed up, your RER gets shifted and bad things happen. A recent study revealed that a wonky RER from interrupted sleep cycles resulted in the loss of lean muscle tissue instead of fat when calories were restricted. In other words, both groups in this study lost the same amount of weight, but the group with poor sleep cycles did not lose any fat. Instead, they lost valuable lean muscle while still storing more body fat. And get this, losing lean muscle means you burn fewer calories and you find it even harder to lose weight. It's a vicious cycle. So even though you're eating right, it can all go out the window if you don't have the right amount of this very specific phase of sleep. And it's not just about how you look. Even though reclaiming this specific form of deep sleep will flatten your belly, what's more important is that your very health is at stake. Poor quality sleep is now proven to be more destructive to your body than smoking. Heck, at least smokers usually don't suffer from unexplained belly fat. And doctors don't really have a clue about this massive new health hazard. Now, how do I know all this? I guess you could say I've become something of a sleep evangelist. Ever since that night when Dan blessed us with a new lease on life, since he revealed that the unexplained weight gain, the terrible energy, and the nagging health issues were never our fault, and he showed us a way forward, a simple path to reclaim our youthful enthusiasm, flatten our bellies, and be truly happy again. I felt deep in my heart that it was my mission to absorb and share the powerful gift Dan gave us. That night, when Dan came to visit, a quick trip to Whole Foods, and we had everything we needed to brew his mind-blowing sleep tea. I've tried lots of teas and tinctures that promised better sleep, but Dan's creation is in a league of its own. It tasted amazing, too. Once he showed us how to brew his tea, he taught us his proprietary shutdown sequence guaranteed to flip the switch and guide you into a deep, restorative sleep. The kind of sleep that peels off belly fat and fortifies your health literally overnight. A word of caution though, make sure you follow the shutdown sequence precisely, because messing it up means less of that priceless deep sleep you need. Todd was skeptical, but I was so excited I could pee myself. For me, it was like finding a spring of crystal clear water after so long in the desert, and I couldn't wait to gulp down some of that sweet, precious, deep sleep. I don't know if it was just in my head, but I swear I woke up the next morning and already felt lighter. Like my body just moved better and I felt more vitality. However, after just 4 days of using Dan's tea and the shutdown sequence, I knew 100% that it was not in my head. Not only was the scale dropping like a stone without having changed my diet, my waistband on my police uniform started getting too loose and I had to tighten my belt a notch. After a week, even Mr. Skeptical admitted this was something special, something powerful. Todd had been sticking to Dan's plan with me. His face started to de-bloat and look slimmer almost right away, and for the first time in years, he was finally at peace through the night. His terror somehow subdued with deep and soothing sleep. By the end of the first week, his eyes got bright again, and the black circles under his eyes literally disappeared completely. And by the end of just 3 weeks, I started seeing the faint outline of those abs of his that I used to love so much. I have to admit, it got me feeling frisky again for the first time in way too long. And I guess Todd took confidence and pride in the way his body was transforming too. Because one night, I got home from my shift and walked into a scene straight out of a Harlequin romance novel. Rose petals, expensive wine, romantic music. And as he folded me into his arms, I just melted into him and let myself surrender to the delicious desire that had been building in both of us. And we've never looked back. We religiously follow Dan's methods to this day, and it's literally like being born again. I can't even imagine going back to feeling fat, lethargic, heavy, foggy-headed, and tired all the time. And the crazy part is, back before Dan opened our eyes, all that was normal to us, which is what shocked me into action. Because I looked around me at my friends, my family, my coworkers, and I could see it in their faces, their bloated features, their tired eyes, their expanding waistlines, their lethargic movements, that they too were suffering what Todd and I had been living. And if you're still watching, there's a good chance you suspect that you too will benefit from the near magical transformation that happens when you learn these easy and simple habits that allow you to reclaim the power of your most important and restorative sleep cycles. Dan's methods are something really special, really terrific. Yet even though he'd love to share them with you and the thousands of other folks who would enjoy life-changing rewards from this precious information, he just doesn't have time to devote to getting these methods out to the world. His every waking hour is already dedicated to working with his elite clients and flying around the world training some of the most advanced healthcare professionals and athletic coaches, which left me feeling like it was up to me and Todd to do something to help folks like you, because our success could so easily be your success too, if you could just get your hands on this simple solution. And as you can see here, I've lost and kept off almost 50 pounds, and Todd completely transformed his soft, tired body back into the ripped, athletic physique I fell in love with. So with Dan's permission, we started small. First, it was friends from high school who noticed how my butt suddenly fit into those skinny jeans that had been hiding in the back of my closet. Then it was Todd's family members who noticed the renewed spark in his eye and the new skip in his step. Then the neighbors, who asked how we lost so much weight so quickly and who could not believe it wasn't because of some special extreme diet. To be blunt, we kind of gained a cult status in our little corner of the world, which was weird, but also great because we were bringing so much happiness to the people we were helping. Yet, I just didn't feel like we were doing enough. So, after weeks of talking about it, Todd and I decided we needed to go big. Todd quit the job he loved so much just so he could put everything he had into helping folks get access to Dan's amazing methods. We spent months taking all of our scribbled notes we gathered, helping friends and family. We went back and forth with Dan to refine everything. And we teamed up with him to turn it into one simple, easy-to-follow manual. A manual we ended up calling Eat, Sleep, Burn. Because that's just what you get. You keep eating like a regular person. You fix your sleep cycles, and almost miraculously, you just start finally burning away your belly fat when nothing else ever worked. Which brings us to now, and brings us to you experiencing the incredible results of Eat, Sleep, Burn for yourself too. Here we are, ready for you to finally get the flat belly and slim body you've been dreaming of, and which you deserve, without ever feeling like you're dieting, because you aren't. In Eat, Sleep, Burn, you'll discover the simple secret to triggering permanent weight loss while you double your energy and set yourself up for a long and healthy life. When you enroll in the program, I'll give you immediate access to Dan's secret Sleep Slim tea recipe. You'll learn the exact ratio of spices, tea, and other ingredients designed to ease you into a deep, restorative, fat-burning sleep. And you know what? Honestly, just giving you the tea recipe would probably be enough to change your life forever. I mean, if you can't even make yourself drink a cup of tea every evening, I don't think anybody could help you lose weight. But because we've made it our mission to share our life-changing results with as many people as we can, and we want to over-deliver for you, we're going to give you a lot more than that. In the Eat, Sleep, Burn system, you'll learn the precise shutdown sequence required to guarantee the exact form of potent sleep that will naturally melt away all your excess body fat, the 3 key sleep switches that make it easy to reclaim your energy and vitality, how to reset your circadian rhythm so that your body intuitively knows the most healthy time to drift off to sleep and to wake you without an alarm or any morning grogginess, how to control a powerful neurotransmitter in your brain that instantly lets you shut out anxious thoughts and power down your spinning brain, which means as soon as tonight, you can enjoy a deep, relaxing, and restoring sleep while your body goes to work burning ugly belly fat. While deep in your cells, you immediately start laying the foundation that will help prevent the potential for disease that lurks in your body. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I barely have time to tell you about the Batcave method to virtually guarantee you fall easily into a deep and restorative sleep, the 2 rules you must never break if you take a nap. I mean never. One simple trick you can use to double the amount of fat-burning deep sleep you get every single night, how to reduce cancer-causing inflammation throughout your body without dangerous and expensive drugs, and much, much more. Okay, can you feel that? Your heart beating, the dryness in your mouth, that incredible desire to know this, to be able to do this, to never again feel tired all the time, to laugh at the idea of cravings because they just aren't a thing anymore, to have control over your body and your health in a way you never have before.
Click the link in the description to download the program.